and welcome to What Happens Next, a series curated by Sahas as part of its ongoing endeavor to equip survivors of gender-based violence and active bystanders with information toward empowered decision-making. Today we have Pratishta Arora from Social Media Matters, who will be helping me discuss and learn about what happens next in the context of online violence. Thank you for joining me, Pratishta. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure is on yours.
So I'd love to start by inviting you to introduce yourself, Pratishta. Please tell us what you do and something about your work.
Basically, I have been working in the domain of online safety from past 5 years. At Social Media Matters, I am primarily looking into the programs which are specially designed for online safety. I'm also looking after our WhatsApp helpline center, wherein we receive a lot of cases about online harassment and online abuse, and also, also on the lines of online safety too, like what people should do in case they get stuck while accessing their social media platforms or while using internet. Also, the cases of revenge porn comes a lot to us on this WhatsApp helpline center, and people are seeking help and people are seeking the next steps what they should do. When they are facing any such kind of online abuse. So this online portal is this WhatsApp helpline center is dedicated basically for all those survivors who are looking out for next steps. Not only on WhatsApp helpline center, but also on my email. People connect with me to kind of seek support and guidance, like what should be done. And largely, we also at Social Media Matters, we are also conducting researches. We are also doing workshops, connecting with people. We are also speaking to experts that how we can incorporate best practices from across the globe. That also needs to be kind of loud and aloud, that needs to be kind of shared out. So that is what we are doing at Social Media Matters, and that is my contribution in Social Media Matters.
Thank you so much for bringing your expertise and experience to this dialogue, Pratishta. I truly appreciate it. So I want to start right from the top. Who can report an incident of online abuse? Is it only a person who faces it, or can anybody else submit it on their behalf?
So basically, it is not only the person who is facing any sort of abuse to report it. Any peers, friends, any acquaintance, any family member can also help in reporting any of the online abuse case on any of the platforms. So it is not necessarily that the person herself or himself has to come out and report the case. So it can be helped by anybody in their network.
Right. So this is a powerful thing for most people to note, because there is so much space for online bystander intervention with that knowledge. So what are the options available to a person to report an incident of online abuse?
So basically, when we talk about options, when a person wants to report anything online, there is a way that you can directly report to the platform, right? All the platforms, all social media platforms has a mechanism where you can report any post, any video, any graphic, any photo which comes across. So any content, basically, whatever they feel is abusive, is inappropriate, that they can report to the platform itself, right? Also, other alternatives are that you can connect with the nearest police station, where they kind of direct the case to the cybercrime cell, to the nearest cybercrime cell that gets escalated. Also, another intervention is that there are so many CSOs who kind of provide extent support to survivors, where, because at times what happens is that there are teenagers, there are also tweens who want to kind of report any mechanism, they want to report any incident, but they don't know, if I do that, when it comes to tweens, they are not eligible to join the platform, but somehow they are there on the platform, but they find this challenge that if I report, will that be I myself put myself into a trouble? When it comes to teenagers, it is like they do not want their identity to be revealed. So going to a police is something that they refrain themselves, because again, if the matter goes to the police, then whole family will be involved, so they do not want that thing. And also there is a point of reputation also, that they do not want that something has happened. That is why people like us, they connect with for any kind of support that they want. Wherein also we kind of we keep all the credentials confidential. It is not that we share out with anyone. Only in the case when they want us to kind of directly escalate certain cases to the platform, so it is only then that not exact credentials are shared, but yes, link to the profile is kind of escalated so that they can take out the content, they can pull down that content from the platform. So these are some ways how people can report and where they can go and reach out.
Thank you so much for the clarity on that, Pratishta. One other area that keeps coming up is when people have an incident or they're sharing screenshots of an incident, they invite more people to report, saying the more number of people report, the more chances there are of this being addressed. Is that typically true, or is even one report enough for it to be actionable?
So basically, yeah, I can totally relate to that, because people think more the number of people, the better response and the early response we will get. But that's not the case. In the online reporting mechanism, especially, even if one person reports a case or any incident, that's enough for the platform to kind of evaluate and take a action on it. It is not necessarily that if 100 people, it is not like a petition that if 100 people sign or if 100 people report to it, only then the case will be escalated or will be taken more seriously. So all the cases are taken seriously in terms of whatever the case has been reported. Just that they have a lot of filtrations to kind of the content when it filters out. So at times it happens that some content it appears that it doesn't fall under the community standards of the platform, but it is somewhere or the other violating rules, or it is harming the sentiments of the user. So wherein the user wants that that needs to be reported or that needs to be pulled down, but the platform is not taking any action. So it is not that it is basically, I want to come to the timeline part, that when we talk about it, that if an incident is reported, that it will take a month's time, or it will take a day's time, or it will take a week's time. It is all they all are also working out to kind of filter out the content and take actions as soon as possible they can. But the thing is that uh, some cases gets delayed. So people think that even after reporting a case, it has no action has been taken on it. So nonetheless, it is like it is not coming to the the prime point that we were talking about. It is not necessarily that 100 people have to report a case, or only one person can also report and the action will be taken.
That's really helpful. Thank you so much for that as well, Pratishta. Now, I want to go back a little where you talked about among the options going to the police directly and going to the platform. Now, between the two, which do you recommend, if there is one better than the other? And do you also advise reporting to both at the same time?
It depends upon the intensity of the case. I would say that there are certain cases which just helps out by reporting to the platform. Um, Not necessarily that in that case, in that matter, you need to reach out to the police, but where basically the user feels that there has been some my personal content or my personal images that has been shared and is being circulated, then we kind of advise to kind of report it to the police as well, because it is there when police can actually intervene as an authorized stakeholder and can actually stop from circulating those video content or any photographs that are being circulated or that is being shared vastly. So that is something that we recommend. In that situation, we recommend to connect with the police. Otherwise, if there is something that a fake account has been created, or somebody is impersonating somebody, or a case of somebody feels that that needs not to be taken to the police, we kind of recommend and we advise them to kind of report to the platform itself. So it depends upon the intensity of the case and what is the other person also wanting to do. Are they do they really want to go to the police? Are they ready for that? Because many times it happens that they do not want to go to the police. They do not want their identity, their credentials to reach out to the police, because then when police is involved, then your family is also involved. So any which ways, it is that peer pressure that comes on, like, when you go and report a domestic violence case as well, people do not want to know like what is happening inside a house. It's similar when you report to a police in the online cases as well.
Thank you so much for articulating that. I think this has cleared so many doubts in my own mind, so I'm sure it will be useful to people listening and watching this. Another common question that keeps coming up, Pratishta, is what kind of evidence is expected when a person makes a report of an online abuse? And when they are filing a report, will the person being reported know that this person has filed the report?
So basically, when it is reported online, it is anonymous. It is not that the person also gets to know that a case has been reported against that particular profile user, the account holder. So that is not revealed. Talking in terms of evidence, at times it happens that the platforms basically ask, in case of fake accounts, they ask for the link to the fake profile and to the real profile as well, because they need to know that which is a real profile and which is a fake profile. And also, as an evidence to kind of cross check which one is a fake profile and which one is an original profile, we ask for their government ID proof, basically to authenticate the account holder with the government ID. Because at times what happens is that somebody is creating a profile online, might put in different information, and it might not cross check with their original identity. So just to ensure that this person is the account holder and is the profile owner of this particular account, so that is cross checked through particular team. And in case of evidence, when we talk about, it depends upon the type of case. At times what happens is that there are some cases happening on different platform, and it lands on a different platform, so it gets basically involvement of two platforms are there. So to have an evidence that where it is happening and where the other person is being blackmailed, so that evidence we require just to cross check that if this case is also happening or not, just to verify that. Because at times it happens that it is just a bogus kind of a case, that people just randomly come and say that this has happened to me, but eventually it has not happened. It is just a wrong interpretation, or it is just that they just want to check or recheck on the service provider as well. So just to authenticate the type of case and what the case is and who the person is behind the account or the profile user, who is the profile user, just to validate that, we do ask for some evidences, and that is also required by the platform too.
Absolutely. Thank you for all the clarity on that, especially with the examples you gave me. So now going back to reporting in itself, what happens after a report is filed to the platform, and what are the typical timelines? I mean, of course, case by case timelines can vary, but what are the typical sort of timelines these processes follow?
So basically, when you talk about the processes and the timelines, it is not that the processes are slow, because all the platforms are also receiving numerous cases of online safety and online abuse. Some people are just also putting it out just to test it out. So uh, I would not kind of define on the timeline as such, because it not actually depends upon the type of case, because there are certain filtrations that are there. But what I would say is that if you have kind of reported, the platform will take some or the other action. They will come back with a response to you. It is just that we need to know where that response has come. It might, some take time and some are resolved in time. So if that's the case, you feel that that the platform is not actionable or is taking some time, so people can actually connect with us, because there are certain organizations who can kind of directly connect with the team, and that basically to escalate the case. Because everybody wants a speedy response, that if I have reported something, they want it to be taken down in an hour's time. I understand the urge of people putting that across. And even that, platforms are also working day in and day out with the feedback that you and I are giving to them, that they are also working day and night to kind of improve their reporting mechanisms. Also they're also trying to take lesser time. So it's not that platforms are not working, they are putting their 100% as well, just that they also want different sources that that they can connect with, so that if there is any kind of a case that needs serious attention or more attention, that can go through you and me. So people like us who are working in this domain can kind of escalate this issue to them, and which can be taken down at a more speedy rate.
That's really, really helpful to know. And it's always true that there are several liaisons that have built rapport and connections with individuals in these organizations. So if you feel, to any of the listeners out there, if you feel like you haven't been heard enough by the platform, feel free to reach out to either of us. We've got your back. So my last two questions to you, Pratishta. What happens after a report is filed? So let's say a person files a report on a platform. What are the steps that typically follow on the platform's end? And if they report to the police, what are some of the steps that the police follow on their end?
So basically, when it is reported to the platform, so basically we need to kind of steps is that you need to kind of make your account more safe now. Use the safety features that are available on the platform, explore them, make the best utilization of these features which are there on the platform. Because what happens the most is that people are not aware about the safety features that are already existing on the platform. They don't know how to use them. So just in case they want to know, they can also connect with us. They can connect with people like you who are already working in this domain, because that is one point of generation. That we need to kind of generate some awareness about the safety features that are existing, that people need to use, and for its best utilization, that they need to kind of explore the section, right, which is there on the platform for their safety. So once they do that, I'm sure that it will kind of add a layer of security to the profile. And as next steps is what I would say, that your safety is in your hands, which social media platforms are just kind of these are just a platforms, these are just mediums to kind of connect with people like you and me. So people can actually they need to explore these areas to protect themselves from any harm in the online spaces. And this can only happen when they spend a little time on safety and privacy, just besides doom scrolling on the profiles and just to know that what people are doing in the other world. So once you do that, you are free to doom scroll. You're free to check out what other people are doing out there. So that is what I would kind of suggest to the listeners out there.
It was amazing. Thank you so much. Finally, Pratishta, it was an absolute joy to listen to you and to learn from you. One last thing before I let you go. How do our listeners reach out to you or to Social Media Matters if they wish to file a report through any of your work?
Certainly, we would be kind of happy to help you out and provide you guidance in any which ways. You can connect with us on our WhatsApp helpline center, and you can also email to me and connect with me. Also through our website, where you can, there is a form out there which you can use, where you can submit your query, or you want to reach out to us for any of your cases. So these are the ways that you can connect with us, or you can connect with anybody in the team. I will be happy to help you and guide you.
Thank you so much once again, Pratishta. It was an absolute pleasure having you with us on What Happens Next. Good wishes to all the work that Social Media Matters is doing, and good wishes to you as well. Thank you again.